This is a disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for quote-unquote fair use for purposes such as criticism like, I hate your shit. Comment, that's some shit. News reporting, this is the shit that happened. Teaching, everybody, read about this shit. Scholarship, I'm gonna give you this shit and you're gonna learn some of that shit. Education and research, kind of what I said before, same shit. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Hey, that's my shit. Why are you using it? Oh, fair use, cause art. So if you see something that's yours, just contact me. I'll clip it out. I don't care. But otherwise, I'm doing something with it because I think it's awesome. Stand by.
Ice cream, yum. Balloon pop. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Ice cream, yum.
What's your favorite cartoon?
No!
Currently, right now.
What did I tell you about watching this?
Bryce Michael!
Bryce Michael!
Bryce Michael!
Bryce Michael, are you
Bryce Michael.
No!
Why is his dad wearing a wizard outfit?
Oh,
What's with the amulet?
this woman is tearing this family apart! Oh.
Gang, gang.
Bryce Michael, give Daddy
This
the
might
phone.
be a very short stream. On
Bryce
purpose.
Michael, give me the phone, please!
Give me the phone, Bryce
Give Daddy
Michael.
the phone.
Gang, gang.
These hands were grown from me. From boyhood.
Lita Caproni with a phone call.
Be tempted by beggars. Con artist waiting to bite the hand that
Gang,
feeds.
gang. But gang, gang.
Should I have
Gang,
guided you more?
Just need another credit card.
Surely I should have shown more enthusiasm in your interest. She said.
True. Pop, gang, gang. Hey, what's happening? Bryce Michael.
I should have told you how valuable you are!
True. You were a
Not
prick.
be swayed by some succubus!
No.
By some creature!
Bryce Michael.
Sound!
Bryce Michael.
Facing the sun, willing to pray
Stand
in
up
your
for what you
misguidance.
believe. Let her take your money, Bryce Michael.
That was my fault.
It's very much your fault. You're a very piss poor father. Cartoon.
I'm sorry I let you down, Bryce Michael.
Yeah, this is horror. This is horror, people. Do you know what horror is? I don't think you know what horror actually is, do you? That was terror. Or something along the lines of, this is always fantastic. I love this. Gang, gang.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you got the crocodile? Hell.
Oh, hell.
Monkey.
Okay, I'm okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The monkey. Crocodiles are black.
Cut up.
Are very
Are you feeling unhinged? Do you feel like it's time to just be extra unhinged? Because unhinged is unhinged as you can be unhinged. We're talking about the entire theme of the evening. Shh, shh. Sorry. Shh.
A dangerous species, monkey.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Hello.
Hello. it's going to be that kind of evening, because if you're not ready to defend yourself in these kind of manners, folks, I don't think you know what kind of panel I'm looking to gather together this evening. I'm looking to gather together the kind of minds that don't give a damn about these plebeian, boring-ass, mundane concepts. I'm talking about hyperbole. I'm talking about ad hominem. I don't care about your platitude, people. This is about cartoons. Hi, what's happening, Lizard Tree? We're doing Halloween Never Ended, and the horror continues, but it's a different kind of horror. It's called breaking cycles out here. Breaking cycles, like motorcycles, bicycles, unicycles, and then disenfranchisement cycles.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
You gotta do a lot of work.
I finally win. Hell! Ooh! I wanna be Damaki! Crocodiles are back. Are very, very bad.
So what are you watching here? You're watching Senior Pello. Gotta give him all shout out. Had to restart like 3 devices. That's why I'm like a minute or 2 late. Apologize.
The crocodiles are dangerous species.
Ivan the Terrible and his son. It is very close to that. That kind of, oh yeah. It's very close.
We're taking care of
What's really going on?
That's an alligator. No, it's a crocodile. Are you blind? Are you a dumbass? That's an
Yeah, I have
alligator.
always thought that this is actually for Spanish-speaking audiences, but it's not. It's just stupid. It's just purely stupid, and I truly enjoy. I truly enjoy. So, needless to say, if you're not ready to defend yourself with purely unhinged nonsense this evening, I don't know if you're ready to really weaponize classic rhetoric with absolutely no holds barred deflection and utter disrespect for any kind of sense that you're saying a red herring. I'm here to support you if that's what you're looking for, if that's the kind of panel you're looking to be on. Or this may be a very short stream. And either way, my friends, Halloween is over. It's back to the horror of the normal internet. And for God's sakes, you know what I'm gonna say. Come on, folks. Look out. Oh, wait, there we go. Sorry about that. I love the sounds.
Son, I brought home Popeye.
Sorry, if you're not familiar with Meat Canyon, this is actually a very, this person has 2 amazing channels. Bryce Michael. Bryce Michael. Gang. So this is the Meat Canyon channel.
This woman is tearing this family apart.
She is. Everybody loves a nice Meat Canyon. Sorry, that's the channel. That's the channel I'm looking at right now. Don't get any ideas. One of the more recent ones from 12 days ago that I'm kind of a fun. It just made me laugh. I watched it several times.
Now, I still have a couple weeks left in the cut, so
Yeah.
this is gonna get a whole lot freakier.
Oh, he's talking to himself in the mirror. Yeah. He's totally buffing out. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do. This might be a very short stream. What's going on, Growling Arachnid? What's going on, Lizard Tree? Lita had a phone call. She might have left us, but I don't know. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready to defend. Actually, not defend, because I'm not going to get into the fray. I'm just going to let you guys argue about what you think the best cartoons are in your insane mindsets out there. Your incel, red pill, black pill, purple pill, plaid pill,
That's a good part.
big towel, wig towel,
No, it's good. It's supposed
sector, par sector, parsnip sector, all that stuff. Chad Chatterton sector, all of those things. Whatever you want to be, whoever you are, I support you. And I will moderate with extreme and utter disregard for prejudice. I mean, just disregard. It's just generally disregard. You remember the Gong Show? Yep. You can even, I mean, seriously, if you want to even kick someone off the panel, you can technically pay to get someone off the panel. I'm gonna give you. It's like a secret menu. Say it once.
You become an enhanced version of yourself. Just another lift.
I learn it from the best. I'm weaponizing and monetizing one thing. That if someone gets on the panel and you hate them, I will take just about any, and just about any. I mean, you could send me a cent. I'd probably just be like, yep, and they're off. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I have some.
I mean, as long as it's in my macros, I mean, I can eat whatever I want.
Oh, that kid's buff. Look at that. It's just juiced. He looks stoked.
Looking huge.
Yeah. Yeah, pains. You got the pains. Anyhow, I'm AronMSound, and this is the show known as Lookup, the remix, where I interject myself into a conversation that nobody wants me to be involved in, by way of which I take it somewhere most people don't expect it to go. And today, I have an open panel that may or may not occur. I don't care. Either way. That's kind of the fun of this. I mean, it could happen. You want to call in and talk about it, share your favorite cartoons and express some wacky ideas, or, you want to quack out, talk about whatever. You're more than welcome to. You want to talk about some beef in some other sector? Yeah, there's panels for that. Here, I am open to actual nonsense debate. And if you don't know what that is, then you probably haven't freed your mind. And if you don't remember, I'm a big fan of freeing your mind because lost trains of thoughts can and will be followed. But I digress. You probably don't remember that if you weren't watching the Ministry of the Flying Pig, which, at some point I will bring back once the house is done. Just at that point where it's every day that I wake up and I just start a new project and shit gets done. Excuse me. So, Lizard Tree, so good to see you. Thank you for being here, by the way. In any case, if you have a cartoon that you feel strongly about, hop on up. Tell us about it. Share a little of the cartoon. Express why you believe that this cartoon is more important than other cartoons, because clearly, that's what's important. Fucking cartoons and video games. So here's what, hey, you know what? You can even like a fucking comic. I'm gonna add in some extra gameplay here. Comics and video game videos. The in-betweens, the shit that nobody really watches, but a few of you are just like obsessed with for no apparent crazy goddamn reason because you have no lives. Please get one. Look at art, for God's sakes. Those are acceptable too. All right. The panel is open. It's at the top. If you got here, you have fucking thumbs. Feel free to use them, or your forfeit. Whatever you do, just don't hold it up to the camera so that, if it's against TOS, don't push the button. Feel free to call. I'll be waiting, and until then, I will likely go to, So as I said, this may be a very short stream. I don't care. It just means I can go back to enjoying the tiny fluffy that is actually just behind me. This thing. Our new producer has decided that my chair is her chair. And she's probably ticked right now that I'm like waking her up and pulling her. Yes, exactly. Where are you going? Oh, meow. Where'd you go? Yes, there you are. Don't take that. Where'd you go? Oh, goodness. There she is. She's very tiny. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is fantastic. Which era of Scooby-Doo do you feel strongly about? Is it pre-Scrappy? Which would be, I guess, the Chronicles of, or that would be the Chronicles of the classic Scooby-Doo, or Scooby-Doo, where are you? Know what I mean? Is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about, like, we're talking about post-Scrappy? Let me express this in another way. Not that I have any strong feelings on the subject, but I guess... Song Wang, hey, what's happening? You're back. Thank you. 1970s, absolutely. Oh, let me give her to the big old, oh, I'm sorry. Shadow Vision, part 107. I don't have my clips ready because they're just buried in clips. They're just buried. Oh, it's family friendly. Come on. It's weird. Wow.
Look what's hitting the fan. Like a mystic brain kick through the limp meat of the beyond comes a monstrous paranoia so
I know this isn't a cartoon. It might as well be. Song Wang, how you feel this evening? Good to see ya. If you have anything that you feel strongly about, as far as cartoons, comics, video game, in-betweens, feel free to hop on up. Express yourself, share something. Come running like these crazy 80s people who are probably all on the heavy cocaine. They're all like, it's cheap. It's the 80s. Let's go, as Tom would say.
You are about to enter.
Not related to the drugs, but the phrase.
Beyond a state of mind. A dimension at the edge of reason. Somewhere in the void between the accepted
and the unexpected. If I haven't already indoctrinated you into this, congratulations. Glad you could join. Go for the door. Go for the door. Door number 1. Yep, the only one there. Oh, now he's in the back rooms. Little did he know. Little did they know. Little does he know what. True, Mad Magazine. Alfred E. Newman. I have a ton of those, by the way. I definitely had a subscription. Yes, if you're wondering where any of my ideas may come from, hey, everybody worked at National Lampoon or Mad Magazine. I think it was Mad Magazine. Might have been like Yale or something. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I know that Harvard is National Lampoon. I got a light blast in the back. By the way, I normally just share clips of this, the Luminary Jam. Oh, come on. Okay, I love that they're offbeat too. It's so hard to do. It's like way off. If you don't know where you're watching, this is 1980s video that apparently had been on HBO, but it, I think, belongs to Shadow Vision Productions now. And this is Shadow Vision. Polyscopic inundation. The original use
on the track with more of your mind and mine in mind. It's Shadow Vision
of
Control, starring Johnny Dakota.
Some very interesting techniques that ended up getting utilized that we use to this day constantly. Quick clips and multiple storylines starting backwards. Super Mario Brothers game. I was just playing it the other night. Great way, 2D game, just to take your man up. Thank you. No, please. No.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back to the show that keeps your mind in mind. If you're just now joining us, what do you say we strap in for a little EV test?
Little
We're gonna
EV
test
test.
your evolutionary IQ and find out just where you're coming from.
Yeah, where are you coming from?
We'll be
We're
broadcasting
at your own personal level.
Wiggy Higgins, ladies and
Wiggy
gentlemen.
Higgins, come on, bro.
Now remember,
Yeah, don't look at your hands.
Don't worry about them,
But don't look at them.
For the next 30 seconds, try to remember everything you're about to see. Here we go now.
True. It's the evolutionary IQ test. Try to remember everything you're about to see. That's the plane. That's the two planes. That's the sub. That's the two buns. That's a burger. That's an airport. Definitely a clock. Sex, clearly. Tuba. Resort. Three planes. Soup. Boat. Jacuzzi. Family. Families. Stocks. Stock. Snow. Slice. Sex. Again. Dream. Green. Seek. Leap. Look. Find. Car. Speed. Stop.
Okay, now forget everything you've just seen and try not to remember everything coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that we are now broadcasting
At your own personal level. All right. So, now that you've seen that, I'm, let's see, what is part 2? Yeah, the part, no, that's part 7. We never get to part 2, do we? Shadow Vision, part 2A. We'll go a little bit further and I'll show you one more cartoon. If I don't get a call, then I'm just going to basically go play with the kitten. If you don't mind. I may or may not. I don't know. If I get a call, this may go all night. But you know. That's I'm just saying.
And dreadful muddle for Norman Jones. Trapped
Norman
in
Jones,
a broadcast
that's-
warp designed to evolve mankind.
I was always fascinated
Our
with
hero's
her
face is on
outfit.
every
I can't
TV.
forget.
And what better way for world control to get to Norman than by plucking up his devoted
The Giant
beloved.
Peach, James and the Giant
Indeed,
Peach,
a
yes.
dark
A very
day
dark story for
fate
children, but
that
still
day.
all of us read it.
President George America, your next office, Party Delta speaking.
We have visual contact.
Who's calling, please?
Torque
Torque
und
und
Rieg.
Rieg. Torque und Rieg.
Talk and read.
Torque and Rieg.
Rick. Oh, Torque.
We have visual contact.
Don't hurt her. Bring her in.
How trippy is this? This is like the 80s. It looks like it's digital. That's all. I'm sorry. That shot has always got me like, how did they do that? How did they do that? Nut. Norman? Don't play, see? It looks like it's digital or like as if she's claymation or something weird. We have visual content.
Where's your boyfriend, Miss Pate?
Norman?
We
Don't
believe
play
he's behind the broadcast.
You mean the TV?
It's on everywhere.
Nut.
Nut? Apparently everyone sees something different.
Maybe you'd like to sit in my lap.
But everyone
It's so creepy.
sees Norman Jones.
How about it? Right here.
We want it stopped.
That's Shadow Stevens, by the way. From Hollywood Squares
I
fame.
say shaver.
Shaver. Another great hit from the 80s, Perspiring Buttocks.
To look at all that you got, you know, you get my head to pound and put my neck in a knot. You know I ain't no longer cool. I babble, pull and through. You know that you
4,
go
part
working
5,
and
part
working
3.
like a fool.
Yeah, we can pass by this. I think that song is a little dated. Little dated.
Wiggle means bring it in my mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the last section of that is fan-freaking-tastic. Why did I do that? Part 2. Hold on a second. We'll go back. We'll go past You Perspire. We'll go past
And
You
dreadful
Perspire.
muddle for Norman Jones.
And,
trapped in a broadcast.
I hope you all enjoyed that little train of thought. I know I did.
I know I did. Yahoo!
You know,
You get it.
lost
You get
trains
it.
of thought still exist and can be ridden. And I know I wouldn't mind riding on one.
True. Lost trains of thoughts.
Let's take another little ride
Can
there,
be found
Wiggy.
and
Let's take it along with the
are ridden.
Illuminarians, Harley Quibber, and the Electrolytic Orchestra, a little favorite of mine called 3D 2A TV. Take it, Harley! Take it, Harley!
Yeah.
Wiggle means brain in my mind. Why did you ever name me that? Why'd you ever name me that?
He must have some internal issues he still needs to deal with. It's cool. We'll get him. We'll get him somewhere along the way. Don't worry. Don't you worry about
Wiggle means brain in my mind. Why did you ever name me that? Why'd you ever name me that?
One single old lady. Oh, I love butts. No, it's just, you
Another
know,
example of how much fun brain damage can turn out to be. Wiggy,
not everybody
don't
likes
call
sweaty
me
butts,
Wig in
so
my
I'm trying to play to the
Higgins.
widest common, lowest denominator.
Parts laughing hysterical.
Also, not trying to play the whole thing.
Meanwhile, little is known about
And
the
all that
origins of
music, I think, is
broadcast or the show
copyrighted.
host,
too. So
Johnny Dakota.
every once in a while, I get like a
And
hit
the
whenever I
mystery
play these
continues
things.
From Steaming Toad, Arizona, where reports of cow
Steaming
finds the
Toad,
size of Buick Rivieras
Arizona.
have been found.
True.
But the big cause for concern there is not so much the size,
No.
the fact that the great steaming dung heaps apparently look exactly like the show host, Johnny
Dakota. The
Of course,
Johnny.
we'll continue broadcasting updates as they become available. However, we have no idea when we'll be interrupted.
I hope you can clip that, by the way. I did say I love butts.
Normie, save me.
Normie. Evil.
Okay, the
Evil.
big question, the big cheesy stain in everybody's mind that just won't go away today is
True.
where did we come from? How did we get here?
Where
from
did we
there?
come from?
What was there that wasn't, and where was that what that wasn't from in the first place? Well, here in the Mediterranean is Dr. Winston Tabor.
Dr. Winston?
Howdy again, friends. Winnie Tabor with you. You know, friends, where do
Winnie,
we come
what's up,
from?
buddy?
Are we just a vast ocean of squiggly squishies, eating and being eaten?
Likely.
Living in a sea of diseased, grotesque air creatures we can't even see?
True.
Huh?
Facts.
And is all this twist?
This is science,
lived,
clearly.
muck, all this
Science,
endless, infinite,
science.
universal gunk, just like some big throbbing probe looking for an orifice? Probably not. Maybe
No,
it's more like
maybe.
the random hostility of unthinkable winged alien barbarians. who
Oh,
made it all up to
okay,
be
yes,
like a
yes.
big
No, I agree with
gold
that.
dream
So,
like
still
a
no callers, but
rah.
there's still a little bit longer in this, so.
Anyway, let's show the film.
True. So many different little wonder. Oh, history of the universe. I think this is important. We should watch this. I see. Yes. Then space and lips. I see. Yes. Eyeballs. Eyeball planets. Planets, and then islands. Oh, lip islands. Floating lip. Oh, machine. Oh, okay. Snails out of lip islands. Out of. Okay. Oh, those are supposed to be microbes or something. Oh, okay. Okay. And washing machines and a lot of Hindu gods, and then some Native American stuff and some Egyptian stuff in there, and there's some museum things happening. There's probably, that looked like a very bigoted image that came by there. There's a lot going on. Finny. Yay! All right. You perspire. Oh, wait. Oh, that's okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what we
Quite
didn't
a
see?
reaction there, Neuter.
Quite.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now let's bring on a man who's been watching the show a very short time.
Very short time.
And already
Have you been watching for a very
he
short
claims to
time?
be able to blow up a tomato with his mind. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
This
Neuter
could be
Blank.
you. Neuter Blank. Yeah. Already, in a short time, can blow up a tomato with his mind. Watching
Quite
for
a
such a
reaction
short
there,
time.
Neuter. Yeah. So it's tomatoes. Yep.
Yep.
You blow them up. It's incredible. Now, how did all this begin?
Well, just sitting at home watching the broadcast one night. I was just drinking a beer, and you know, I had track bugs. And the thing is, this mosquito just wouldn't leave me alone. So I spotted him, tuned in, and
Bang! Ooh, whoa! Hey!
That is pretty
Wonderful,
amazing. So
wonderful.
how did you get from mosquitoes to tomatoes?
Well, flies at first, I guess. Moths are great, though. A little puff of powder. But the biggest problem I have to say would be small birds, even though frogs are very good. But hamsters, boy, they really blow.
And now it's tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes, but Johnny, one thing I would like to point out to you and the audience was that everything I blow up, I eat.
Well, I think we all appreciate that, don't we?
We can appreciate.
Okay, so I guess we're all ready then. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're all
ladies
ready.
and gentlemen,
You
Mr.
ready?
Neuter Blank.
Neuter Blank! Hey! Let's go. As Tom would say. Tomfoolery. At Tomfoolery. The channel.
I'm sorry, Commander.
Not saying. Yeah, that's what he would say.
But this is really important.
It is.
There is a tomato.
Seriously, Wiki. Tomato.
This is overwhelmingly more than just very, very, very important, sir. I would like to watch this if you don't mind. Sir, the doorways was left open.
Pardon me.
Interdimensional doorway?
Maybe an interdimensional doorway, the kind that link every dimension of now and then and here and there, the kind that when left open pull all of everything into a big nothing, more incredibly nothing than anything we've ever known. I hope you're joking.
I wish I was. But look, it's open.
What kind of
Is it Norman
frickin' Norman? What an asshole.
This is great. This is great.
Well, I don't like the sound of this. I don't like the sound of this.
Well, universe, we can pull through this door.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do?
You gotta close the door.
I don't want to die.
Norman's gotta do it.
Don't make me go out there, Johnny. I want to run free in the meadow. I want to learn how to play the
Wiggy,
bagpipes.
you're a dramatic bitch.
But there are glurms and glitches and brain maggots, and it's cold out there. I don't...
Shut up. Shut up. There's a sweaty tomato and a very sweaty man. And if you want more of that, oh, okay, we'll watch some more of that. That's pretty good. That's some good shit, right? That's part 3. Hold on a second. Let's get to part let's get to part 4. 4 is the 4. Yeah. Hold on a second. The brain maggots. No. Sorry, he wasn't lying. They're brain maggots.
Buddy, I don't know who you think you are, but I'm a CPA.
Do you have any idea what you have done?
Wait a minute.
No, he has no clue what he's done.
Excuse me, Mr.
By the way, if you're looking to have an argument about cartoons, I have the call-in is open. You press the button and it goes bling bling or blinka, blinka, and then you can sit here and just scream all you like about a cartoon. You can be a cartoon. I don't care.
Think about it. And now
Norm!
It's true.
We have a door. You've got to close it, and if you don't, you're going to die.
There's a man with a sweaty tomato, and he's sweaty.
Right. From an open door?
Yeah.
Good. I'll tell you what. You get the door, but keep in touch.
No!
True.
I'm not going to argue.
Get
We're
the
not
door.
going to talk. We had 30 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
Right then.
We had
No
30
time to
minutes,
lose. Good
20 minutes ago. That means there's 10 minutes left if you're not good with the maths.
Doorways, darling.
Because that means that 20 minutes ago there was only 30 minutes. 10 minutes had elapsed. You get the whole thing. Yeah, Norman Jones is an asshole. And there's definitely a sweaty tomato. It's about to explode. You ready for this? You ready? Are you ready? Boom, baby! Boom with his mind! Sweaty tomato! Alright. Clearly, nobody has any interest in getting angry about cartoons. And, I'll only share so much of this before I just say, you can watch this on your own. And the whole topic of tonight is the fact that I do enjoy me some good cartoons. But I tend to enjoy the odd, weird, fun Ralph Bakshi. It has to do with the fact that, Fritz the Cat is funny as hell and weird and psychedelic. And it's so beautiful art-wise. And then pornographic in another nature that, like, it's both tantalizing and titillating to a 14-year-old, you know, when somebody goes, have you seen this videotape? You know, have you with this videotape? You know what I mean? Have you smoked with this video? You know what I mean? You know, yeah. It was the 80s, kids. Don't get excited. Anyhow. So, yeah. I'll try this again next week. Maybe I'll actually arrange it. See if people will actually show up when I arrange it. Maybe I'll just ask like 12 people. I didn't ask anybody. Somebody else asked. So I can't expect that, you know. Plus, I didn't get any confirmation. I turned it on. I wasn't actually expecting the stream. I just added it in. So I love the people who showed up, by the way. It's so silent behind me. You notice that? Isn't it weird when like my stream goes silent? It's like, what happened? Let's talk about Bubbles. Never. Unless she shows up here and I can be like... No, actually, Brittany has been doing really good stuff recently. And every once in a while I'll be like... And then, you know, actually, a lot of times it seems like she's really helping people. And the things I hear out of her channel, pretty dope, actually, most of the time. Especially, she's been on for a long time. I guess I can talk about one thing. All right. I'm going to talk about something. I have been watching a certain streamer. She's very large. Not very large. She's comparatively in the larger... Yeah. Felix the Cat is also an amazing, amazing cartoon. I love Felix the Cat. The wonderful, wonderful cat. But that is definitely not Fritz the Cat. Different thing. So, yeah, I've been watching this streamer. Because my very, very good friend has turned me on to them. And some of the things that this person says, I can very much agree with, because it does come from a very, like kind of a self-help, energizing place. Like, believe in yourself. You don't need other people. That's a good message. It's a good place to start for anybody, right? Well, in the case of this particular streamer, they have said repeatedly some things that engage the kind of ideas that push gender warfare. And what does that really mean? I mean, it's happened many times throughout human history. Gender battle becomes the divisive conversation at the dinner table just as much as a politic would. But in this case, the message that is being watched by, you know, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,400 people for long periods of time is that men are incapable of love. And like grandma behind me, I can't help but giggle. The kind of solipsistic, ignorant, low vibe, disrespect for the entirety of a species, much less all species, really, to act as though we are without reason or agency as a gender or sex. Hi, Lita. What's happening? Oh, of course men are capable of love. I would argue that men originated every philosophy surrounding the concepts of love, and you cannot extract them from that. Good evening, Lita. I was about to abandon the stream because nobody's called, but I decided to talk about... Well, I'll say her name before I split. You know who I'm talking about. But yes. I'm sure any mother of sons finds this abhorrent. But I have heard some speak ill of their own children, or read it at least. I've seen many different strange angles from seeing other humans as human, and any reason to dislike in order to deflect away from one's own failures, which will always be the case if you can't see others as equal. It's just that simple. If you can't expect everybody to be flawed in some way and righteous in another, and expect that most everybody is going to try to do as best as they can from the get-go, that way you can really seed out the fucking bullshit people. Because if you think everybody's bullshit, you'll never actually see the bullshit people. I noticed that really, truly, amongst the worst folks I've ever met. There's so many bullshit people around me, you can't tell who's bullshit and who's real. That's why a lot of this internet, YouTube bullshit, seems like bullshit, because there's so much of it. You're just plowing through a field of it. Just a bunch of fucking motherfuckers with no achievements in their life, no accommodations, no sensibilities, and just saying the most hyperbolous, fucking rhetorical nonsense shit. Don't like it? Get the fuck out of here. You probably don't understand it anyways. I'm speaking to a whole specific crowd who wants to hear specifically this. I'm screaming into an echo chamber on purpose, and that's O-fucking-K. Because you know what it is? It has to do with the fact that some people are not living their lives through a fucking screen. And there's an abuse of this too. And I say this about this one particular character, which the more I've watched her, the more evil, the more actual evil. Resto Chesto, how you doing? I'm on one this evening. You just caught me. I'm talking about somebody you've actually probably seen too. Fucking evil. And the reason it's evil is because its banality suggests that it doesn't mean much to say that there's a whole gender that is incapable of love. To say that a father can't love his daughter, or his brother, or his father, or his children, or my cat and my dog, or that I am somehow bereft of the feeling, is not only the stupidest, low IQ, lack of knowledge example, but the kind of language that I've heard over and over again is not just hyperbolous, not just rhetorical, it is fucking gobbledygook nonsense spread to a bunch of people that are so used to hearing gobbledygook, whether it be from their preachers, or the corner, or their friends. And it's not limited to one class of people. It's not limited to one race. It's not limited to one background. It's just people who are willing to give way to nonsense because it fits their agenda, their ideas, their limitations, and they won't look at any fucking further. It creates mob mentality. It drives people away from each other and creates, even in a small fashion, disenfranchisement. Sorry, Resto, good evening. Yeah. How's it going, man? Yeah. I heard some things, and I saw somebody get treated like shit. Somebody who's like, all right, I'm talking about Princella. You don't know who she is? Go look her up. Check out what she says. She's literally saying to women repeatedly, like as if it's some kind of strange mantra that men are incapable of love. And it's as if you use a certain term, or I'm sorry, if you use a certain tone, that makes what you're saying sensible. I'm not fucking with you. That's real. It's almost as insane as somebody saying on a panel once that they should just, get rid of all of a certain race's black babies. What the fuck? Excuse me. Yeah, a woman named Sunny D said to us on a panel, what would be wrong with that? And we're not talking about a white woman. We're not talking about, we're talking about a woman who's just saying, why in the divestment group. That's crazy, yes. Lizard Tree, you might have actually been there that night, strangely enough. But these are the kind of ideas that are being propagated by people that are doing nothing less than projecting their own mental illnesses and or their own issues, personal or otherwise, agenda into and bias and bigotry Oh, Sin is gone? Lita? Yeah, well, you know, they always have 4 channels. In any case. And I say they because every time I find one of these horrible channels is somebody spouting some fucking bullshit, some real bullshit, some real horrid, get people to believe some wildness where, like, it's how cults, it's how atrocity gets made. Because you start with a sensible commonality. You've got to know, right? You understand. The you and me. We understand, but others don't. And why aren't they? Because they're a whole different people. Well, does it matter that she's trying to convince people that a gender doesn't love? Yes. Because that's one component in a massive field. She's just one component. And I would even argue that historically, what she's doing is playing out of the playbook of what used to be, I'm sorry, a slave master's guide to separate husband and wife. If you're not fucking familiar with that, check out some goddamn history, please. That's real from the fucking bottom of my heart. I can't stand hearing it anymore. And when I hear it, it hurts to hear people buying into it because it's a fucking playbook. It's dehumanizing. It's ridiculous. And if I have to point to the science, Helen Fisher is very clear about the fact that right in front of the medulla, the chemicals are created to create despair, desire, what we would know as love, pain, religion. Oh, Lita, you know what this is about. Come on. It is, yeah. Yeah, it's completely nightmarishly ridiculous because men can't love in the idea of this person. And there are others arguing alongside as if that's just rational, reasonable. Well, and then if you say that men can't love, then they are capable of doing anything monstrous because then they're not human, right? And that is where the component comes in of not just the disenfranchisement, but allowance for dehumanizing, rolling back the clock, going for early Göbekli Tepe to 1,000 years later. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there, sorry, I'm making I am obscure reference man to this evening. The earlier portions of Göbekli Tepe and Tojeka Taekli. I can't, the names are so hard to say. I should go through them. They've found 11 others. There's 200 different areas. There may be even a superhighway there. This is before and after Younger Dryas, meaning that civilization, love is absolutely 100% grounded in what makes us a being, a human being and being. Resto, I would argue being. I don't have the book sitting here. One of the most profound things I've ever found in any grimoire, in any book about concepts of philosophy or theology, is in a book called The Secrets of the Masters of the Far East, written in the 1890s. And the person who wrote it is a pastor, or was a pastor, and so he wrote it from a religious point of view, but he was part of the group that went to Tibet and brought back Eastern mysticism that inspired many of the folks of the early 20th century to really dive into that, including, Tesla and all sorts of folks. Dank, how you doing this evening? Good evening. I hope you're well too. So, one thing we can all unite under, I believe, is the banner that humans are here to love. We can disagree on a lot of fucking shit. We disagree even on how we behave, but it's that line of like understanding that we, even if Helen Fisher taught, the same place that any woman or any man experiences pain and love and despair and desire and everything all exhibits the same responses in both sexes. We may interpret these things differently based off of how we experience, and I always joke that we all come from the different vaginas. So yes, of course, we're gonna have a different fucking viewpoint. But this has gotten to a point where I'm starting to hear language from people that inspires folks to dehumanize. take that 3 steps out in any direction. And to me, yeah, I should chop up her content. Yeah. No, you know what? I will. I want to do it so that I can put it side by side and really make those points clear, because she does these long streams like I have, so it's hard to counter. I really want a one-on-one with her, but she didn't put the phone number up today. So at least not while I was watching. But what she did to Daryl, how she talked about Daryl, what she set up Daryl for was this self-serving ploy of back padding just to make a point for her audience. And it's the worst kind of content creator. In the ethics of real life TV, or wag the dog, let's just say, Resto says you stop going on panels in that area because some people over there just can't listen. Oh, yeah, logic. Yeah, you had a debate and got made fun of for being smart. You know, it always brings me back to idiocracy. This just sounds stupid. Why is he using those big words? You're such an F-bomb. You know, I can't even, Today it was about Daryl. Yeah, it wasn't actually, it wasn't alive? That wasn't alive? I thought she was taking comments. Holy shit. She sat there for like 2.5 hours and just ranted about all that shit, and Robbie? Good God. I have my theories about this person, but, I've never really even spoke to them, so... And I tried interjecting in chat the other day. She jumped right up on panel and ignored my shit. Hey, so here's my point. I believe that it's time that the call to authority is had. What's happening, Eve? True. Oh, are you kidding? I travel far and wide. Trippy Liquids, good evening. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you could be here. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some nights where, like, especially early on, when I came back online, started streaming and jumping on Mike's panel. That was. So, Neve, I'm talking about Brincella right now. I'm appalled that she has the concept that men can't love. She tries to actually legitimize it by saying that there's science or anthropological or anthropomorphic concepps that support it, and it's crazy. Once you get out there, it's Manitou Springs. Oh yeah, no, that's a beautiful day. That's an awesome place. Good on you. Yeah, there's some wild spots. I want to get over into Andreas Zerdis world. Andreas Zerdis. That isn't Quack World. It is Quack World with science. Like, I've literally heard discussions that I spent more time looking up words. That doesn't happen very often, by the way. She says it's in a hyperbolic way. Yeah. Oh, somebody said pop. Hold on a second, let me turn the music down. Neve, what's happening? Hold on a second. Make sure the audio's working. Good, how you feeling this evening? I don't think the audio's up. Let me fix it so it is. It looks like it's not happening, mate. Give me 1 second. No, that's on my end. I can hear you, but they can't. Let me see if this works. Say check 1 2. I may have to add the channel again. Hey Neve, say check for me. Oh no! All right, so hold on a second. Sometimes StreamYard does funny things to check 1 2. Oh, 1 2. So obviously, you've seen Princella. I'm going to actually have to add the audio separately here. It's Monteo. Oh, it's like, oh. So, stand by, everybody. I have to add an audio piece here because there it is. Audio application, audio StreamYard, audio. Oh, there it is. Okay, why does it always do this to me? Because it's mean. All right, that should work, actually. Let me see if... How you feeling this evening? Thanks for coming on, man. I'm sorry. That is my California on me. I apologize for my colloquialism. I'm good, actually. I was, oh, thank you. Really good, actually. I got a lot done today. If that makes it. Yeah, StreamYard looks like it's giving me issues. Let me see. Hold on a second. Is it now going to try to overlap? Oh, but inside it's giving you an issue? This always happens whenever I try to host anybody. My StreamYard suddenly goes, oh, you want to talk to somebody? Ooh. Sorry, the audience can't hear what we're talking about, but I'm working out audio issues right now, so. Lita, welcome to the panel. Oh, actually, it's Lita X. I'm sorry. Lita X has joined the panel. I apologize. I need to get it right. Yes, it is, actually. So hang with me, folks, while I go through the paces of StreamYard being annoying. Which is true. How you doing, Lita? What's going on this evening? There, oh, good. I'm sorry, folks. I may actually have to, let me see. This is really giving me a hard time this evening. I can see ya, but it won't pull up the audio on my side. Wow. Hold on one second. This has done this before to me, so. I'm gonna try to get rid of some things here. I apologize to the audience as you're waiting on me. And in the meanwhile, sorry.
And remember, if you're not gonna laugh for me, snappy batter. Laugh for...
It's chopping up for my side. I am, yeah, actually. What were you watching, Lita? By the way, that is very 90s of you to say all of those things. The audience can't hear, but it's totally fine, actually.
Little Johnny.
Stand
Little
by,
Johnny
audience.
was in the hospital tonight and can't laugh because he has no lips.
What you can do, you can make yourself a nice little baloney patch doll. Isn't that a face any mother could love? Yeah, mwah, of course it is. But you know, sometimes the shelf life is a little short, but you can change his expression at will.
Sorry, guys. Okay, only you can hear me right now. I'm working on the audio still while I play something absurd. Can you guys still hear me?
No, I'm teasing. That's why my hair is like this. You know, I pulled out half my hair, didn't I? Well, if a woman judges a man by the top of his head, he must be doing something she enjoys very much.
I'm sorry. That's the boring alert. We've got to go to car crash.
I don't know if anyone can hear this. I was once Johnny Decoded. I may still be. What I really have to tell you is this, and I can only hope that someone can hear it. Noam Jones closed the door to his past and
all right, somebody say check 1, 2 for me,
possibilities.
please.
Right at this moment, the show I was once hosting is still being broadcast. While
Can
at the
anybody in
same time,
StreamYard hear
in another
me?
dimension, the anti-Johnny is broadcasting strange mutations of that same reality. And meanwhile, you yourself watching at home may be part
I
of
may
a
have to
broadcast
just
at this very moment.
Pop out and back in, so hang tight,
Certain
everybody.
manufacturers have been installing television cameras in every TV made since 1952. Now, if none of this makes sense to you, it may already be too late. But that's not important right now. The most important thing you need to know right now at this point in your life is that part of I hope you're not affecting my voice. I'm trying to speak to you.
All right. Can you hear me again? Is it worse or better?
I hope that you're hearing what I'm saying.
Okay, let me see if I got you in there. Yeah, it's doing something really odd to me.
At this rate, our planet is gaining weight at 11 billion pounds a night and will soon sink from sight. For the sake of your children, stay awake. But what's more important than that is
It doesn't want to take the StreamYard audio back.
Well, it's nice costumes, but I think it needs more girls. Is that the end? What's too short? How do you tell? What's too short? Too fast. Too fast. Too short. Who is the shadow part? Where's I don't see where the name fits. So I don't know. It was good. To heck with tradition. I loved it personally.
When you're feeling sad and
All right, let's try that.
and you don't know what to do, laugh now, think later. When you're feeling volatile, force your face into a smile and laugh now.
The issue is actually getting your audio back to me. It's it doesn't want to come back to OBS. It's giving me a hard time, basically.
Now, think later, and when your feet begin to buckle, got an ache in your back, you're about to break into a chuckle and a happy attack. Laugh now, think later,
Well, I apologize to the audience, and I apologize to the panel, Lita, Neve. Yeah, I can't get the audio back from, doesn't want to feed me the actual page. I'm going to try to restart something.
Think about it.
And I hope that you did think about it. I'm not ignoring the chat, by the way. Panel and the host fell asleep and hosted his stream for an... Oh, yes, Resto, I actually saw you on that panel. That was some crazy, insane... And then he had the audacity to get ticked at you because essentially you were doing a better job. That was one of the more astonishing, like really? You get upset at the guy? Wasn't he just hosting your panel? Didn't he just do that? What did he? The hell? The hell?
Ice cream, yum.
That's what I'd say to that. Ice cream, what the hell? Resto is literally hosting the panel for the guy. He was asleep. By the way, I was talking about Gobekli Tepe earlier. Screw it. Y-Files, let's go. Oh, you know what? I was talking about something. I'll figure it out while I'm talking about it. I'll bring it back up. I'll let you know when I figure this out, because this is stupid. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Why I wouldn't be getting it. Why I wouldn't be getting it. StreamYard audio. Damn it. Apologize for that. So I'm just going to rant real quickly. We'll figure it out another time. Yeah, that was some weird shit. So, one of the things that comes to my mind about the behaviors of those who would suggest that some other group is less than is always a matter of supremacy. And supremacy is a fool's game because we're all the same fucking creature. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that night, Resto, you don't have to name names. We kind of, those of us who know, yeah, we know who those motherfuckers are. I mean, like, it's just angry. Fat. Yeah. Like, yeah, anyways, so, not to be as mean as that, but truly, no, that's just, I don't know what else I can say about that, but it just, come on, there's just some people who, frankly, I gotta get rid of the chat for 2 hot seconds to actually restart this bit here. Surprise, surprise. I bet you, though, when it comes back, it'll actually do this. Because that's how it goes. Oh, it's a fucking update, that's why. That's why. So when they update you in the middle, the one I found from a while ago, I don't know if it just popped back up in the algorithm or not, Resto, of you talking to, what's up, Stay Gold? How you feeling? You talking to a kid who realized some of your background elsewhere and freaking out. You getting humbled. That's what the video was called. That's a cool one. I like that. I like, it was fun. It was very fun. There's a bunch of them, actually. Also, the other one that I truly enjoy, absolutely, that people should go watch. It's just 90 minutes, grown-ass men arguing over a sandwich. absolutely fascinating. Oh, stay gold. Juby, what's happening? Hopefully I can figure out how to get my StreamYard to come back, because it's not happening for me this evening. I may just rant about Brincella quickly. Although we were going to have a cartoon debate. And I guess I was just not patient enough. I just wasn't patient. Let me see. Is that? That's that. All right. So I got the chisel in the chat. It actually says that when I say I'm not colloquializing or using locution. It actually says chisel as in chat right in front of me. That's what that's what it's called. The little element in my OBS. I call it the chisel. Anyhow. Yeah, that's... And he freaks out. I love it. He's like, oh my God! He's like... Wait, hold on a second. It was great. That was great. I enjoyed that. The sandwich video, though, that is a deep one. Because that both like is a trial of adult male logic, or just adult logic. And oh my God, you guys are still here? You guys are still here?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on a second. Let me see if I got the audio back. Maybe it'll be kind and come back to me. And if not, I'll have to scrap this evening like that. Damn. Something happened. It should be. This has worked many times. Oh, hey, I can see the audio. Hey, there it is. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of the doubling, because you gotta put it. I don't want it in doubly. Nobody wants it in doubly, okay? Advanced audio property. Respect my properties. Come on, StreamYard audio. Oh, that's why. Monitor off. Come on, meow. All right, now we have a conversational communication cable. Neve, thank you for hanging on the line. You guys are playing Overwatch?
How are you?
I'm good. Oh, Lita X is now. Lita X is now, and Resto's in the chat, so we have a real contender for stupid arguments here. And by the way, let the stupid arguments begin. By the way, I just want to say, Neve, thanks for coming.
No problem. It's been a while.
It has been.
Been on streaming in a age, it seems like.
I've been on and off because my situation's been so busy, and it's one of those things. And also, by the way, I've been following you quite often, and I noticed you haven't jumped on as many panels recently, or am I just missing them?
You might be missing them. I have been doing some more panels, but just very, I'm gonna say like unserious ones, just for fun and
nice.
With really inconsequential topics and whatnot.
Oh, good. I encourage that. I wholesale encourage that. There's too many people supporting needless brain cells on things that are not that serious that they think they are. I don't know if you're feeling that, but I'm very much about throwing the baby out with the bathwater right now.
It's not apathy necessarily. It's more so about being a bit of a, I don't know, not an echo, like being a mirror for the kind of like discord that happens so often, that's taken like way too seriously, that's generally done in a very like non-productive kind of mindset, right? So for me, it's really about, I don't know, trying to have
what's your definition? I'm sorry, Neve, what's your definition of the word unproductive mindset? Sorry, you mean like that?
Well, just the idea that we're not actually there to like spread ideas. We're all there to like try and, you know what I mean, like fight the worst interpretation of everyone's arguments at times. And so for me, it's basically like, okay, I get that's what this space is about, but every now and then it's like I'll be around to like not take it that seriously, and maybe sometimes I should be taking it more seriously, but I can't. It's sometimes it gets really dumb.
Yeah, I agree with
so
that.
I've been
like about the dumb part, like, well, the fact that it
that was another one.
What's that? I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said?
For it. Sorry, and I've been talking for a while.
No, you're
Okay,
good.
so
You're good. You're good.
I went
Actually agree
on
with you.
I went on a Stardust panel like a couple of weeks ago to debate ads, which was really fun and funny and random and really fucking weird. We did like feminism in gaming, which I mean could have been serious, but it wasn't really. And,
You didn't
had a lot of
Gamergate
fun
it.
with
You
that
didn't.
one.
You didn't game. I just found out, by the way. I should have known this a long time ago, but I heard the term Gamergate, and I was like, my brain just went, ignore that. And then just recently, it was just kind of forced at me. So did you guys? You didn't go to Gamergate.
It took a couple turns for sure. There was a few creators that were in a group chat, and somebody that was like on the panel that was pretty, I don't know, like antagonistic maybe, and I am as well. And before the panel, like a week leading up to it, there was all this tension because we were all like, I don't know if like ravenously fighting was the word, but everything, it was getting a little petty in there. So there was a lot of like build up to this panel, and then it was just.
Was it the
really
good petty?
stupid,
Was it the
fun.
juicy petty, or was it the bullshit petty where it's like, God, I just want this to be done. Why are you talking about my fucking shoes right now? I mean,
I think it goes to like, okay, so if I had to be charitable to like what the other person would have thought in the circumstance, I would probably say like the lesson would more likely be like, don't joke with people you don't really have a rapport with. But what what happened was one of the questions posed for feminism and gaming was kind of like on a more aesthetic level, like anywhere from, you know, over-sexualizing female characters. Should there be considerations made into this? And that's kind of like my, not necessarily issue, but like one of my biggest like, okay, this is so sus and unnecessary. How like every anime character ever has like massive boobs for like no reason.
Yeah.
So basically, when this question was proposed for the topic, I made a remark about the genre, not aimed at anyone in particular, but I was like, I find it weird how in the genre of anime, I've never really seen like a working woman or a woman like even sometimes in the home like working. And it just seems like every female character in anime seems to be in high school. And so this guy, who I imagine is like a big...
Oh, interesting, because you just hit on a real, because I'm trying to think about all the anime I've seen, and okay, so when I think about it, and Resto is a good one for this actually, because he can help me. He could probably take this apart in a more like the drawing and the way the drawings are approached. But I think there's like 3 archetypes or 4 archetypes of anime women, and if we're talking about video game women, that's a different thing. But then that's more extreme, I'd say. Even that like video game women are always like their waists are smaller than Barbie's, where Barbie's like her top half would like break off or something like that, you know, or her chest would break her back, is what they say, you know, if she was actually to exist. So there's such validity to a lot of it. Like it is an odd thing that comes out of a certain culture, and I'm not talking about gaming culture, I'm talking about when you talk about anime, that makes sense in that culture to a degree. But it is because they acknowledge that it's accentuated unrealistically.
Right.
I would say that once again, this is the confoundment or the disproportionate dislocation of disbelief, or you know, it used to be that people suspend disbelief. Now people suspend belief. and have expectations
Yeah.
because of those things. So I'm hearing you full tilt on that, and it is an odd thing. It used to be argued against.
So
I'd argue
here's the
for it
thing,
now.
though. So my intent in stating this in the group chat was not that was not to like state that like I thought that this was like the worst thing ever. Personally, I just kind of like I don't really watch anime. My friend's getting me to watch like the Dragon Ball series right now. So this is like my entry into like genuinely sitting and watching one.
Wait,
And
which section? Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball series original?
like all of them. He wants me to watch them all,
Okay,
so I'm starting
now-
from the very beginning.
Purist, although I'm not. I know one. Japanese, English subtitle, English overlay.
English dub for sure.
Oh, okay.
I can't read and already force myself to watch something that ancient. I need to have I need to have it transcribed to me. Okay, but I just wanted to make it clear that my point in identifying this in the beginning of the conversation was not to try and muddy the water for the debate, but it was like a playful, competitive jab of like, you know what I mean? Like a comically bad faith interpretation of the other side. Okay, do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
it's
I
not
know
that-
exactly
it
what
was
you mean.
not that deep.
What you did was you leaned against. You were like playing with the rocket fire button, and you didn't realize that the actual like the cover, the little clear plastic protective cover over the rocket fire button was actually up at the time when you were like, I'm gonna press the button. Oh shit! One of those was one of those moments.
Well, okay, so it was kind of like, for me, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like competitive. It feels like not necessarily like trash talking, but just like trying to set a good, some energy for the conversation. And it did, let me tell you. So
sure.
After that was said, this person kind of came back at me and was like, oh, are you implying that I am this? And I did not say. I was like, you know, it was just like a general statement. And the fact that he had like got so upset about this, he attached himself to the issue and then kind of in a roundabout way implied that I was saying he was like, I don't know what the YouTube appropriate word to say this is, but like
It's whatever the worst possible situation was that could possibly polarize the conversation so that you're the enemy
100%.
against any thought. You don't even have to explain it. It's so
okay,
funny.
yeah, so absolutely.
I'm sorry.
So basically I just said, okay, here's the genre of like animation. It's kind of sus. And then this guy was like, nope, this is the hill I'm dying on. I'm going to defend this point to the death and take what you had said previously in a general statement and take it offensively. So it was like, no one said that you are, but now that you're sitting here and like trying to say that that's what I implied when I said it in the first place is making me seem like you are defending yourself from that. And that wasn't the intention to be.
No, okay, he's not. Let me just clear the waters up for you, Neve.
Yeah.
He is implying himself because he's denying a non-statement, meaning that he is implied to he's projected into the statement. This is a weird fucking thing that these kids seem to, and I'm saying kids, I mean, I do mean anybody who's got that kid goddamn brain stuck in terminal online thought land that doesn't apply in real world fucking application, where any normal person would look at you and be like, what'd you say? You know, if that's the situation, if it only works up here, the logic tends to be so, I was saying it before, polarizing for no reason other than to win a battle. It doesn't have to even make sense. And it's coming from some fear state. Because something, to me, and it's always coming from, I don't want people to know I am X, Y, or Z. So I'm going to attack that thing as if that's the cover. And that behavior, by the way, looking at the psychology of it for real, is the behavior that most people shed when they're a teenager. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
you know, I'm sorry, that bullshit cover.
Well,
I didn't break the lamp.
Like he wouldn't attempt to, like, he was just taking the worst in faith interpretations of everything we were saying, which was like, okay, I mean, if you really look at it, should you expect everyone to like understand or like read into some sort of joke when you don't know them, fine. Like, that's the most charitable thing I could say towards his thing. We're like, yeah, he didn't know us. None of us knew each other. But most, like 90% of the people there understood it as a joke, right? So what really happened, though, after that was, this is like, okay, like, have you ever heard the terminology like debate pervertry or like being a debate pervert?
Sure, absolutely. Or,
Yes.
it would have been, I'm sorry, there's another term for it, which is, well, it used to be debate addict when I was in NFL, because, the guys that you'd see on every single one, they'd be like, dude, do you ever miss any of these? No, man, I've got, extemporaneous wins all along, picket fence, bro, that kind of shit, where like people were very serious about it, addicted to the process. And I don't think it's healthy for anybody's thought matrix, anybody's id, anybody's ego, because especially if you start getting perceptual wins, which is purely a judgment call of who's sitting in front of you. And that's part of what I'm about to get to, is the point of reading the room.
Oh, totally. That was definitely something that wasn't happening. And I think where this kind of got like out of control was, instead of just kind of like backing off, when he was like, so I was like, why does it seem like every woman in an anime, the statement that I said, he was kind of like, well, every is like a burden of proof you won't be able to satisfy. And he said it in such a like, I don't know how to explain it, like a mad scientist type way. So I was like, okay,
a
like
burden
chill.
of proof somebody couldn't satisfy? Wait, what?
I was like, okay, chill, nerd, which was kind of like shitty in hindsight. But the thing about it is, like, a lot of times when we have these online panel discussions with like the most informal moderation possible, and people want to like hold everybody to every single like logical fallacy or every single like rhetorical tactic, in reality we're all just arguing our points arrogantly.
Absolutely. No, and there's no points. Okay, so I got a point. There's a thing about wanting to do Neve, and I initially got a lot of pushback, because one of the first places that I was hanging out to jump out to other worlds when I came back online and to stream specifically was in Wix server, and I need to go back there because it was really a great place of people. Very interesting conversations were had, but like better as an offline space, by the way, in a lot of cases. Just earnest people trying to have a conversation in a lot of cases, even if their ideas are pretty wild, and not all of them, but some. Anyways, point being is that I think a lot of these folks are so caught up with the situation that they're in. They don't care. They don't care that everybody got the joke. They want to be the pill. Gets them more attention.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I feel. That's the way what I see. Gets the drama gets way more attention.
Totally.
Nobody wants.
Yeah,
I mean, anything you're going to say that's actually going to be funny, that's going to be a slight. And my other joke to that is, I didn't understand what you just said to me, so I'm going to take that as a instigation, or as an offense. Sorry.
What I was just like, what I just wanted to say though quickly was that, like, when it gets into like the hardcore, what I consider to be debate pervertry in a conversation, like I said, with poor moderation and no like real, outcomes, I refuse to let people like that try and set the conditions for like the prevailing opinion in a conversation that informal. So where does this carry? So when
you mean you don't want the arbiter to be the guy who also doesn't give a damn about the rules? What are you talking about?
And I see something like chill nerd, it's intended to be like, there's supposed to be a degree of like I don't know how to explain it, like a sobering effect to the idea that, like, almost as if to say, like, it's not that deep, like it's not that serious, but for like a lot of reasons that when you tie them together, it's like, I don't know, anyways.
But did you also consider that, and I'll say it in the voice, did you also consider that maybe his whole life depends upon being right in that argument? Because that's what seems like a lot of weight is given to these conversations that are just that. And I stress that we don't use point systems. We don't take away points for hyperbole or rhetoric. We don't use Stanford or Oxford or there's like 4 sets of rules outside of NFL. I used to know them by heart, but we don't use any of those sets of rules for the debates. It's just argument. You were making this point earlier. It's just argument for the sake of argument. And I think the gaming culture has fucked it up too. Excuse my language, but don't. I'm saying it fucked it up because it turns what should be discourse, what is the dialectic, and some people are addicts of the dialectic, needing synthesis, which is so important. But beyond that, they force synthesis where there is none, and can become a cult of dialectic to force what, like, there's a number of them that I've found actually, but it really is a thing that's not happening to synthesis in general, that they're getting caught in a limited dialectic of antithesis and synthesis. I'm sorry, antithesis to thesis, and no synthesis, and no outside purveyor to actually moderate to synthesis. So there's nothing fucking happening. Nobody says that's a negative. Nobody says that's a positive that moves us forward. Let's take that topic and move us. There's a couple, but they're not getting a lot of attention because, once again, they're not very dramatic. They don't have people screaming about what they think is between people's legs and how that affects their cartoons. And that's the other thing is that's why it's important to that guy. Especially, that's what I hear, by the way. I always try to break it down, by the way, and now I've been ranting for a minute, to what people's base standards of juvenile need out of a subject really is. And it always seems to come down to, in those worlds, whether red pill, black pill, fucking plaid pill, you name it, the fucking pill is just, they want to know what's going on between our sheets, between our legs, and not between the thought. And that's where it always ends up, instead of the thought or trying to find a solution or trying to find a better answer or trying to come to, and this is the other thing, is it's always disingenuous if somebody just wants to win. If somebody just wants to have a conversation to win, they aren't there to get to have any discourse to synthesis. They're just fucking there to win. Okay, rant over, landed the plane. Sorry. Thank you for being here. This has been Aaron Talk. Sorry. So, I'm sorry, go ahead with your story.
That was essentially like the poorly timed sarcasm to doubling down. It essentially like turned the whole pre-debate like planning type thing. Not to say that there was a lot. It was literally just like, oh, okay, are we okay with these questions? Do we want to do this format? That type of conversation. So it wasn't like a big thing. And it just turned it into this really, really funny back and forth where all these DMs were leaked. And then when the actual panel came up, it was pretty tense and heated at points, but it ultimately just ended up being like pretty stupid and but funny from my side of things, which is why I brought it up in the first place and saying like I haven't necessarily been doing too many like serious or intense panels. It's been really fun, kind of like straying the pathway a little bit and doing something more I don't know, unorthodox, but yeah.
Well, I support you because I believe, creative streaming is the thing. If we're going to be out here doing a show, let's do a fucking show. I think the days of Destiny Chair and Hassan Chair should come to an end because people being paid $100 million to just talk like this to the camera and come up with no plot, no backing, no fucking premise, nothing that really makes anybody think or move forward or give place to, it's one thing to give place to ideals and perspectives from all across the spectrum, but if you don't actually get anywhere with them, is it any different than Maury Povich?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think it's pretty analogous.
Yeah, to me too. It seems a lot, except, here's the other thing is, Maury Povich knew it was salacious. He knew it was salacious, and I'll tell you how he knew. I got a little story about this. I'm in the airport. It's 2001. in LAX, and I see this incredibly tan skeleton in a skin bag. The goddamn dude looked like he was a leather couch. Excuse me if he's passed away. But he did. He was that extra tan. Like, damn, dude, you should really be out of the sun for a while. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
When your bag and your jacket is a lighter shade of tan than you are, and it looks like a nicer leather than your skin, this is a problem. Anyways,
yeah.
So I'm grabbing some gear right next to this guy, and I'll just tell you that, the influence of that guy's show on so much media, to me, is Resto, what's happening? It's just so disturbing in so many ways that we don't really. Good evening, Resto, what's happening? Good to see you.
Hey, Resto. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just here to listen and chime in when I feel like I have something to add to the conversation.
Oh, and you are welcome.
Is my audio good?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Oh,
you're
it's
good.
great. Yeah, you're chilling.
Okay. I'm on my laptop. I'm flying home in the morning, so I'm just on my laptop.
Nice.
Where are you exactly?
Don't give it up, Batman. Don't give it up. Don't give it up.
I'm just kidding, Resto. I know you're like particular about that shit. So sorry.
Yeah. No, you good, Neve. Good to hear your voice.
Thanks. Shoot.
All right, keep telling me about the Maury and the airport thing.
Oh yeah, so I'm picking up gear, and I seen this guy, and initially I'm just like, oh damn, he's just way too tan. That's my first thought, for real. So I'm grabbing the gear, and I kind of sit up and I turn and look, and sure enough, it's fucking Maury Povich. And I see him, and he kind of looks at me as if I recognize him because he can see it in my eye. And I couldn't help myself, man. This is the first thought out of my fucking mouth. I literally picked the bags up, kept straight, looked at him straight dead in the eye, and said, Satan. And kept walking.
What?
Yes. I called that motherfucker Satan. That's the first thought. That's the first vibe. I called him Satan. I've never done that to anybody else. It was really a fucking kind of a compulsive thing, but it's the truth. It's the fact. It's a truth. And it's because, you know what it was? I had so much seated dislike for this person because whether you know it or not, his effect on modern culture and the way that we see things in TV and the slants and bias, he didn't just play into it. He picked a demographic and market and said, which market does this work with best? How can I really blow up this market and then get them to take advantage of it and then try to make money off of it? There would be no Cash Me Outside without Maury Povich. There would be no Lil Tay without Maury Povich. There'd be no so many fucking things. It's crazy. And it's not Donahue. It's anti-Donahue. And there's a couple of folks, Sally Jesse Raphael, what's his face with the mustache, who never did it as well, but Maury's the one who came up with, it's not your baby, and it had 2 spin-offs, actually.
You were not the father.
And then TMZ grew up exactly alongside, and here's a weird little factoid. The guy who runs TMZ was like the editor or whatever. That dude's first big gig was daily on KGLA 11 hosting Judge Wapner's People's Court. He was the host out in the hallway who'd interview people before and after. And there was a...
Is that him?
Yeah, he was one of the first guys. If not the first, he's like the second or the first. He was on forever. And there's this tie-in between them all where that was playing, it plays on the poorest level of culture. It plays on the mud throwing, it plays on the drama, it plays on all this fucking shit that it dehumanizes people. And then they get upset.
Kind of like what's going on a little bit in these YouTube streets, as they call it.
Yes, sir. Oh, Maury Povich isn't dead. Well, then I doubled down on what I said. Sorry. That's terrible. I've been looking at too much Aleister Crowley.
Well, that's a good thing that he isn't dead, right?
Yeah, true. No, it is true. It is true. God love him. He's probably chock full of youth vitamins and healthcare plans. I'm sure. That SAG-AFTRA.
Youth vitamins.
Yes.
I think I know exactly what you mean when you
it's
say
a euphemism. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. But hey, so okay, I hate to turn the panel like away from this and away from cartoons, but I was ranting about it earlier, and I know that everybody here knows about it. Lita's been silent this whole time. I can finally bring her into something. Is she now Lita X actually over there? I don't know. Lita, I don't know if you know Resta, Lita.
Hello, Lita.
What do you guys think about this statement that's been made repeatedly over and over like a fucking mantra from a certain person? I hate to even proliferate it, except for the fact that it's so absurd in every single way that I have to address it because it's on my mind. Hi!
Hello.
Princella. Man,
right.
and this is her thing. This is not really where we were going to argue cartoons, which we can do, but I have different rules for that. We have very specific rules.
This is why I joined in the first place. I forgot.
Oh yeah, no, the Princella concept is abhorrent to me. It's the kind of language that one would use when you're like, you got a white sheet over your head. It actually is from the book of like when you look at that fucking gnarly piece of history that I think people should read to understand the dehumanizing effects that were actually had on people during slavery. There's a book of directions of how to separate men and women, how to separate husbands and wives.
Facts.
And one of these directions is to actually create gender battles, politic amongst your enslaved, so that they can't get along, so that all of their cultural background is annihilated. This is fucking that same fucking language to me, and that's where I start. This is like her argument that men can't love isn't just a fallacy. It is provably scientifically wrong, and men developed the word love, much less the language of love, much less the practices of love, much less the shared behavior of love alongside women.
True.
They are symbiotic.
I think like what was important and something that I didn't recognize about what she was saying, and why I initially said that a lot of it was like kind of hyperbolic, is because like when she says that men can't love, she like it's in, I don't know, it's like a poor articulation of the idea that men can't love because they can't accurately, like they can't, in her mind, that because she'll always bring up the like Maslow's hierarchy, men
which is an animal
can't love
hierarchy,
because they can't accurately like what's the word, attribute like partition their energy towards like their survival needs, and then like all the other things make their way up the pyramid till they're at a point where they can like actually love without being in like a survival mindset. I think that's like what the way I interpret what she says. She says like it's not that they can't like think they're loved, but they can't like love until they address like, you know, those essential things in their life.
Well, just hearing that statement makes me think, not your statement, but the men can't love statement, it makes me think that she just doesn't understand love languages. Men do love, and men can love. I love my wife, I love my daughter, and I love a lot of people in my life. I just have a different love language. And I don't think that person that made that statement recognizes the love language of a man, because honestly, maybe you just never had a man to love you in a way that you needed to be loved. Or maybe you just refuse to recognize his love.
So where it carries though is how it carries into her rhetoric around women. Okay, so a lot of the time she's not saying this to men like directly. She's not saying, okay, men can't love, like looking some man in the face saying you can't love. She's saying it to women, and the reason she's saying it to women is because she knows that women are holding men to the standard without that consideration in mind, that men are simultaneously dealing with their like inherent needs to like love and be loved, you know, around someone, rightfully so, and also dealing with their like day-to-day survival. And like from her perspective, it is a societal issue because she sees it and the way it like manifests itself in the Black community. I don't think she talks about the entire like man-woman divide or whatever, but she says these particularly to women so that women are not necessarily holding men to this high idealized standard of what they perceive a man should be able to provide emotionally and physically. She like, it's more about, to me it's like a message of empathy, which is kind of interesting because it's like a little convoluted, but I don't know.
Well, I would argue that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry, Aaron.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say that I would argue that a man providing and loving and protecting his family is a form of love. I think what she's trying to say is men don't have the time to love you like you would want them to love you, to give you flowers and take you on dates and take you to the top of the Eiffel Tower and have champagne. Yeah, sometimes we don't have time to do that because we're working and we're doing all this other stuff and we're changing light bulbs and we're picking stuff up off the floor. Like that's what men do. And the thing is, men don't try to project their love. Like we don't try to stand on a pedestal when we do something out of love. We just do it and hope that you recognize it. So if she's saying that men can't love, I just think that she's trying to say men don't have time to love you sometimes within your love language spectrum. That's what she's trying to say. So words mean things, and I think that this person, and I don't know this person well, I've been in communities, but I don't know this person enough to speak on this person, but I think that person should word that statement a little bit differently. And I don't think it comes from a place of compassion. I think it comes from a place of honestly hurt.
Yeah, I could definitely see that as well, right? The reason she appeals to women with like shared trauma, women who've had poor interactions with men, have been disappointed and let down by men or whatever, the contrary. But I think what you're speaking to is kind of more of like a micro analysis of what she's saying on a societal level, right? Like the macro analysis of the idea that it's impossible and unreasonable to expect that somebody who doesn't have their shit together would also then be able to like provide for you and then provide for a family and also be like a present and responsible father.
But doesn't she also,
the idea that I think is like,
hold on, I have to challenge you on this. Doesn't she also at the same time say that women basically WGTOW, they don't specifically need the other gender? Doesn't she also pair that message?
I think that she's drawn on a lot of historical examples to try and like bolster that up point. I don't really understand the like value in her making those distinctions because it's really not like productive to what matters the most, and that's like the cohesion of the family. And so yeah, that stuff I wouldn't say is overly productive. There's other things, specifically like her idea that women are inherently like lesbian or have the same-sex attraction that is then removed, or I don't know what she says about it. Like it's either there and it's dormant, or it's just the way it's like biologically. And so she loses a lot of people when she gets into that sort of like, I don't know, there's like an element of people who have this tendency to like preach, to prey on emotions, and a big part of that is like the trauma bond element, right?
Yeah, I can see that, but I also am concerned about its hyperbolic state or how it's taken. But I'd like to hear from Lita also, because Lita I know is really familiar with the language. So what have you been hearing, Lita? How do you take this? Because you also have 2 boys, right?
I do, but I am done for today with bucking Princella.
Oh, damn. And
I have been in a space for months listening to this. I am done today.
Oh shit. Okay, came in hot, huh?
What exactly brings you to the...
It's not that. It's just that, like, I have been watching the drama for a good, maybe since about late August, early September, something like that, maybe like mid-September. And like for the last 2 weeks, it's been really nuts. And I have been calling it like the ban the bonobo thing. So all I've been doing is seeing like guys just talking about how they're capable of love. Princella is saying men are not capable. Protect her. Like what the fuck is going on here? I don't want to talk about Princella right now.
Lita, have we met before?
Probably.
Damn, that was well.
yes, Resto. Yes, we have. Yes.
Lizardry, by the way, says that she's definitely not a lesbian. Nothing against lesbians, but she's not attracted to women in a sexual way.
Like that, it's all that too. Like she's trying to make people gay, yada yada yada. Like it's all like it all comes down to like all this stupid stuff about sex. I don't want to talk about it right now. However, Neve explained it a bit. Like, Neve, you can do that if you like. I'm not fucking doing it.
What? Explain which part? Didn't I already kind of explain it?
Like how she was talking about how men aren't capable of love and all this other stuff.
But I mean, do you believe that, Lita? Do you believe that? Hold on a second. I've heard from you. I've heard from you.
The least problematic way would be like you can't expect anyone to love if they don't have their shit together. Like you can't expect a good lover.
That makes sense.
No, I can't. No, I'll challenge that because love is free.
And specifically men, because they're so guided by their penises.
By able to love or capable to love, do you mean give everything equally or to be healthy about it? Is that what you mean? Because the incapability is an extreme. That statement is such an extreme thing. And this is before we move on. I'm sorry, I got to ask Lita just the basic question. Lita, do you believe that what Princella says, that men are incapable of love?
I'm not even like absorbing that. That's the thing though about me. Like I'm listening and I'm just like, all right, like, and I just keep it fucking moving. Like I'm not absorbing any of that.
I've definitely met Lita before.
She's like, men aren't capable of love. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
She's saying like, so when you say, Aaron, your question initially, right before you asked Lita what your question, right before you just said what you said to Lita, what was your question? Do you remember?
Oh, as far as asking her whether she believed.
She asked me, do I believe that men?
No, what did not you asked? You said something, and then you asked Lita a question.
What her take on it,
Yeah.
what she's heard from the situation, what she's hearing from the situation. Because I've heard a whole scape of hoo-ha, including the fact that yesterday she played what really got me fucking up in a tizzy. Let's just say,
Jumbi, come up.
Yeah, Jimmy, where are you? Because your take on this would be really interesting as well. Because I'm actually I don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
I think Neve, you and I are the sole single not sole single, but I mean who doesn't have children.
No kids.
child free. Come on up, Jimmy. The stream is fine. But to me, it just seems like a lot of language of disenfranchisement. That it seems like these people are seeking her because she's saying something that just makes it easy to just forget that other people, although to the smart people, it's like, why would I even take that fucking seriously? There's a certain group of people in there that like takes it real seriously. Like, and there's a lot of them. It's not like they're not a 10 streamer Andy. Or a 5 streamer Andy like me. She's 1,400 strong when she turns on, and it goes up fast.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I would consider Raw and Darrell like friends, and I think that the difficult part for me is that it seems to be like a lot of people in that space.
You're not friends.
I know. Like friendly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that naive, Lita.
You're not friendly.
Okay. They always seem to kind of fight each other, and I always seem to have to kind of like slowly walk backwards and disappear, and then just like reappear in a couple of weeks and stuff. But the shitty thing is that when I heard Princella and Raw going at it, and when I first heard it, I was actually on Raw's side. And I went on the panel after to say that I thought that Princella was like kind of fucking being dumb as hell. But what really happened is they were speaking past each other. And then when that turned into like Daryl and Raw fighting, that fucking sucked because I was like, oh shit, well, I like you both. Like, what's going on? And that's kind of where they're at now. And okay, but I saw just now on Fatty's stream, they're talking about Daryl and Princella, and they've literally dropped like $1,000 in the last like I don't know how much. Basically, like buying
For
people
what?
on and off the panel.
To kick people
On and
off.
the panel.
Oh, that is
Yes.
amazing.
For bounties.
That is
Funny as fuck.
amazing.
You know what else was funny? As hated as I am over there, no one has ever paid for me to get kicked off. Also, shout out to Daryl. Love
Shout,
that.
shout out to Daryl. By the way, big ups. That's why I got angry today. By the way, because Daryl's taking enough shit. That's just to me is like I
love
feel
Daryl.
so. I have a deep empathy. I don't know this man. I've known about him for a long time, but I don't know him. You know, and that's one of those like strange randoms in all amongst many things. But it's one of those things where like the fact that he's gone through what he's gone through, and then to kind of be played in a YouTube way by somebody who's spreading a message that is like he got it. He was trying to turn it into something that really played for himself and like, just being there, being part of it. And she really did some disingenuous stuff as far as let's just say you're standing on stage and you're reciting your lines and the other person comes out on stage and just starts doing another fucking play and doing it at you like they're patronizing you. It's like, come on.
I haven't been over there.
What's that?
I haven't been over there for a while.
Oh yeah, it was a weird. I mean, there's been some issues with Robbie, and it just some stuff came down where there's some drama. And either way, the way she did it was like apparently I thought it was live, but it turns out it was a pre-recorded video, which is even more a little like wow.
Yeah.
Like it's like a
No,
rant.
it was live. It just wasn't
Oh.
in her studio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what's funny? The first time like I interacted with Daryl, he showed me a lot of love, and then I went to somebody else's channel who I won't name, and then they were like, "If you're not gonna do nothing over here, if you're not gonna drop some money, get the fuck out of here." So I was like, "Okay, I'll drop some money." I went to Daryl and dropped a 50 bomb just out of nowhere. He was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, I dropped some money, bro." Fuck it.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
Yeah,
by the way, I appreciate it.
After what you said, Resto, I just want to say okay. Angry Man spent like $150 in the same night to kick me off a panel, and I wear that shit like a badge. So I feel like it's kind of like okay, it's a bit of a flex in some ways. It's like because that night it was closer to like 200, and that was like 150 of it was like just him.
No, if you're getting paid that much, if you're getting paid, someone's paying that
we were
much.
arguing, and he wanted
Yeah.
to pay that money to kick me off while we were arguing, which means he obviously like it's just weak. You know what I mean?
I want you to think about that. That is a week's groceries. Somebody paid a week's groceries to kick you up. That is a huge like
Not
accolade
talk to me. It's so funny.
To not talk to you. Yeah. That's got to be.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds shittier, but.
No, but it's even better because if you're talking about the situation where they had to avoid your thoughts, they had to avoid your concepts, your arguments and had to pay to do it. That's the only way they could get out of it. That's their weakness. That's their out. That's their $150 that even though they didn't pay it to you, they paid it to the piggy bank to be like, just please get this person away from me. Win. That's a win. Fuck them. They went out the creep way.
A lot of the creators like tolerate me there because it's like, they can be whatever with me, but if their crowd doesn't like me, then I'll just like make them money. So it's like, it's like whatever. Like, if you're somebody who's hated, you're also simultaneously like putting money in people's pockets. So it's like, I don't know, it's funny that way.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, they would I would go into like the StreamYards or whatever the fuck, and I get pulled up immediately. But they'll be like talking about, oh, there's people in the back. There's people in the back. I'm like, y'all just want to sit here and just like argue with me. Y'all just want to make me mad. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all just want to use me for this shit. And I'm not here for it, bro. Like, if I'm in a debate, I'm either here to prove you wrong or learn something. And I want to do both.
Yeah, you would like Prime Ks. Actually, if you're looking for that stuff, there's a couple of them I can turn you on to that are like Prime Ks, and the Wix stuff you can get on Wix panel like right away, bro. People would be very into you because it's a Twitch crowd, by the way. Just side note, but it's one of those things where like that more like a thoughtful spot. But I will argue this again. I think without a rule system put into place like the NFL, and I would say NFL rules are probably the easiest, where it's just like there's 4 or 5 of them, and you can set extemporaneous goals or all kinds of things, whether you're prepping, but to have a panel, like there's rules and stipulations and sides and stuff like that nobody follows. Not at all. And it just becomes argument. And we're having conversation right now.
You gotta have a mediator. Like you gotta have somebody that's like non-biased, and they're saying like, okay, well, like, okay, you're yelling over this person, or okay, well, he kind of did get you on that part,
Well,
and then
there's rules.
You can't have a biased audience either.
When you first said mediator, I was like, did he mean moderator? But then I thought about it more, and I was like, wait, a mediator would be more appropriate for these debates.
Well, a judge it happens.
So
there's 3 judges in proper panel debate. And there's a main judge and 2 subsidiaries who watch for all the flags that can go by. So any of them can call out a flag. And that's hyperbole, ad hominem. The basic ones are hyperbole, ad hominem, rhetoric, red herring, and or deflection. I'm sorry?
Oh, I was going, because the fallacies go on forever, but there are main ones, right?
Yeah, there's a whole there's a main list of them that like basically like all of the things that Destiny does to quote unquote win or W debates are immediate. Like in the first 4 minutes, that dude would stand up on an actual panel.
Your patronage will not be forgotten.
Oh wow!
This person
Holy
is the boss.
shit! And you know what? Whoa! Lizard Tree, you rule! That's amazing!
Oh shit!
I was insane. Shout out to Lizard Tree.
Yeah,
Lizard
that was.
Tree.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was really kind. Thank you for being a patron, repeatedly so. Holy shit! She's like, wow. That is. Hold on a second. Got to turn the camera on for a hot second and give you a close up of the. Holy shit! And my director keeps saying, "Be quick, be quick, be quick." Okay, it's buttons. Sorry. All right. That's rad. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, by the way. Hope you know that. Sorry, you gonna say, Neve?
I interrupted you thinking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. My grandmother said, "Thank people and then move on," because otherwise you're being disingenuous.
I'm gonna start my stream pretty soon, and I've got some friends I'm playing Overwatch with right now, so I'm gonna take off.
Sick.
I appreciate the conversation, you guys, and please stop by whenever you get the chance.
I love it, and I appreciate you, Neve. Your input is always welcome, and anytime you see the panel, come on, hop on up. I'm sorry that we're not arguing about cartoons. I will actually. You know what? Would you guys be down for?
I'm sorry we had to.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
I'm always in your stream, Neve.
I'll see you. I see you. Bye.
Later. Yeah, Resta. So I shudder to think the impact. By the way, not to jump back to a terrible subject, but I shudder to think about the impact of all the moms and all the wives and grandmothers and aunts in that group between the divestors and Princella that really do affect people. Let's just say for the sake of argument, we're looking at a marketing scope, and that's 7%, 10% of 1,400 people. That extreme is still 70 to 100 people.
Yeah, you're pushing a narrative to like a group of people who listen to you, who are biased towards what you're saying, and just because you're hurt doesn't mean that everybody else is. And I'm not saying that this person is hurt, but it sounds like it's coming from a hurt place. Maybe I need to do a little bit more research and like look into this, which I really don't want to, because I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, to be honest. But the fact that this person is going around saying that men can't love, so you're telling me that I can't love my daughter? You're telling me that I don't love my wife. You're telling me that I don't love my mother.
The word is
actually
incapable.
ridiculous.
Incapable of love.
Incapable. Like I am incapable of loving the people around me.
Yes.
Incapable of loving the people that I know that I love 100%. The people that I have broken my back, my bones, and my brain for. And you're telling me that I am incapable of love because you were hurt because of your experiences?
Well, let's just I would say for the sake of argument, let's take if she was hurt out of the way, because she does have children, and she was with somebody. So let's just take that out of the way, and just for the sake of argument, look at what the premise of that is, and how it plays out. I would play her video, but I'd be afraid of it. That like it's that zone where like they'll just strike you because you've played their video. You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
And so. My take is, from what she said repeatedly, is that there is too many primal urge issues with men, including the creation of the word love, which seems to me, by the way, let me just be very honest, some strange subculture colloquialism like play, where it's like men have utilized the term love, and it's always like in a very specific cadence that somebody like myself, who's basically grown up around it, I know exactly what this is. It's like some preacher shit, you know. It's a subculture thing where it's like it pisses me off because it's using a certain subgroup affectation to
I know what you mean.
Intimate,
I know exactly what you mean.
Intimate, to authority where there is none. And she says that men use this term to leverage their power. That this power is what men put in place essentially for love. And I'm paraphrasing there because there's a whole bunch of subsets. But yes. That this...
Okay, I'm going to stop you. I got to stop you right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I got to stop you right there because I'm going to forget if I don't stop you. She's... Okay, just to make sure I'm right. And I heard you right? Mm-hmm. She's saying that men use the term love to leverage power against women.
That is my understanding about the definition when somebody's tried to use, a woman has tried to use, well, the definition of love is, you're looking at the book. You're looking at, the definition that man gave. And that's the other thing is right there, she gave away, to me, if you're actually talking about a debate, well, she just failed right there. She just admitted that men invented the term love. So therefore, men framed it. How can it be... How can someone be incapable of something they've framed?
What the fuck? If I tell a woman that I love her, when I told my wife that I loved her for the first time, I gave her all the power of my life. If I tell somebody that I love them, that gives them the keys to my happiness. It is not a way to take away some kind of power or be over somebody. To be over somebody is to say, I hate you. I don't like you. I want to take everything from you, which is the exact opposite of love, which is saying, I love you. I want to give everything to you. You have control. Because when you tell somebody that you love them, when you actually love a person, anything they do can either make you happy or make you sad. So that's what pisses me off about that. Now, I didn't hear this person say that, but I'm just speaking on the statement.
Yeah, and you can just take, honestly, you can take the concept and run with it, honestly, because the entire premise, it's repeated as a mantra, is men do not love, men cannot love, men are incapable of love. I've heard it enough now to where I can say it, because it's a fucking mantra that frightens me. Yeah.
And I'm capable of love.
Yeah, I'm a man.
Love every day of my fucking life.
Me and you both. And to me, the essence of life, the being of life, everything that I've studied, everything that I've read, I was saying this earlier, the most powerful, and I didn't actually finish it because somebody popped on, actually. When he popped in, and Lita. In the book of the Secrets of the Mystics of the Far East, it says, at one point, after one of the lamas has turned a glass of water into ice, and then back again in front of a group. and done many other amazing things, but this is just one of the things that they did. And then they go on to talk about fixing a broken chain in their own system that they found by way of their practices. But one of the things that they say they did when asked, how do you do this, is that they do this in agreement with great love. And first off, clearly this is a man. Second off, it is the basic status of all that is, if you want to argue it from any position. So we are made from it. We are, in 95% of the cases, made from the love of our parents. In all those cases, we are a joining of the energies of the systems to become who we are now. And then that is an emanation of existence and experiencing. And as long as you take a step and breathe and take forward, you are loving the day. So how anybody can suggest that any one gender would, because of some experiences, I understand, or because of some viewpoint that has changed, or because of some, whatever it is, but to lambast an entirety of a group, whether it be because of their race or background or whatever it be, isn't just disingenuous or hopeful in a surrealistic, fantastic way, but it's also, it's the archetype of xenophobic, it's the archetype of hateful. It is the actual expression of the what it's saying. It's like satanic in a lot of ways. It's evil because it says they can't love, and therefore we love better. We're supreme. I'm supreme. A whole gender is supreme because we've got some secret, and that's where it goes. Oh, what do you want, a cult? A cult of hate? Because that's what it becomes. It's not love. You're telling some people that not only can other people not love, but that you should just disenfranchise from them. So it's essentially to dislike, to hate. I'm sorry if I'm taking it too far. And it's one of those things where, like, because the words have been repeated, it doesn't even matter all the stuff that's been said behind it, because some of the proofing has been really amazing, man. The video that got me the other day was, here, let me show you the scientific proof, and she puts on a preacher who happens to have a doctorate, but that's I looked it up, and it's like theology. So, at that point, what can you do?
No, I completely feel you on that one, and the reason that it bothers me is because love is free. You can always give love. There's little things you can do. You can glance at somebody and see love. That's why they made the saying love at first sight. You can see that. And men and women, we both need each other. It's not a who's better, who's worse. It's a how can we help you? Men and women should just be customer service to each other. That's what love is about, helping each other. It's not necessarily always going to be 50-50. And it's not necessarily always going to be somebody who has control. But we need to understand that we need each other and we love each other, and we shouldn't be trying to take the easy way out just because we've had bad experiences, or just because we think a certain way. It's like, oh, it's their fault. It's their fault. That's deflection. No one here should be trying to deflect, and no one should be here trying to trauma bond. Because somebody wants to hear the correct answer that they think is correct. A lot of people are wrong, right? And I always go back to this saying.
Sorry, I apologize. The shift just said. I apologize. No, that's not not what you think it is. Is the new producer? I have her in my hands. Is testing out the equipment, apparently, and yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, it was yeah.
No,
anyway,
that's totally fine.
Sorry.
That's totally fine.
I apologize.
What I was gonna say is if you're the only one right, you're wrong. And in those communities, somebody can come into those communities and be right, but they're the only one right, so they're wrong. Because everybody else thinks that they're right.
Yes, and that is part of the issue that I find amongst the W and L community issue, like a conceptualization of the debate, the conversations. It's at least here online, and I'm sure you experience this as well in the IRL. Let's call it for the sake of streaming. If you were to try to have any of these conversations in the manners that, let's say, some of the folks have had with you on panels, thinking of a couple of them very specifically, like how those wouldn't go down that way, that these are disenfranchised, separated subculture language and conversations, that this is not the mass, this isn't the majority of things. It's just enough to where it's driving a whole section of rationalization that's horrible, because what ends up happening is we end up with these groups becoming part of normal society. We're seeing these people on Piers Morgan, so this is where I start to
I'm sorry to cut this short.
You're okay.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I will be back. There's some shit going on.
Oh, you good. Take care of it. Do your thing, man. I appreciate you, Resto. Thank you for being here, man. And giving your points. I mean, it's really
we gotta do more shit together.
Come on, let's go, man. Let's go. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready to collab. And actually, I was gonna put out a video of you telling me that one time you popped into my live and you kind of gave me some flowers. I wanted to put that out as a video, but I keep it personal.
I
that's
appreciate
really personal.
it.
I watch it at least twice a week because that meant a lot to me.
Oh man,
yeah,
thank
that
you.
really meant a lot to me, man. I even showed
do
my wife
more,
that.
man. Oh no shit.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
yeah.
What'd you think?
She was like, honestly, she was like, "You doing this internet shit again?" I was like, "It's different. It's different this time."
Sorry, that was the cat on time. That was the cat on time getting it this time.
Oh hell yeah!
That was the cat. Sorry, I apologize. That was not me. I was about to go turn it and give you a sound effect, and she did it on time. That was crazy. That was actually pretty interesting. No, that's wow. She said you're doing this internet shit again.
Yeah,
wow.
I had a history with the internet, but it's not bad. It's just playing video games and doing it for 13 hours a day. It's just not feasible for what I do.
Well, if you separate conversations about separate things for separate times, you do have my Discord. So please do.
I do.
Hit me up, because I don't know if I haven't looked at it in a while. So please call. That's the best way to hit me. Yeah, don't play video games for 13 hours a day, man. That's
well, yeah.
that's
I don't think she's just mad about it right now, because
that's a quick way to get unmarried.
Now I don't. We travel a lot, so now I'm not packing my game systems in a completely different carrier, so she's not too mad about it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen all that. Wait, did you have the screen with you, or did
Oh yeah,
you
of
just
course.
play with?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's when
I had everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be back. I just gotta go.
Yeah, go take care of that. I'm sorry I kept you on. Apologize.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not you. I promise. Love you, Aaron.
Love you too,
and
man.
I'm gonna give you your flowers.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. You too, man. I appreciate it. Always watching your stuff, by the way.
I'll be back.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Of course, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Resto Chesto, make sure to. Oh yeah, Song Wang, you're back. Good to see you. And I gotta say, love the man. And if you're not familiar with Resto FM, check it out. And his shorts are amazing. His editing is awesome. He's an amazing person. Just know that. And more than meets the eye. Opticon. Oh, sorry. Anyways. How long are we up? Oh, we'll be. Looks like I'm going to be up for a second. I did drink that triple latte, and I'm talking about this. Feel sorry for our audience. And I was going to say, Lizard Tree. Yeah, I do love my mom a lot. Love my family. I don't get to see them enough. or have enough direct oh, you know what? The producer's trying to make their way back. Are you working on some technical things down here? No, clearly not. The timing of that was great, yes, but the camera's still rolling. If you're going to do some technical, you're going to make your way back that other way? Okay, cool. I love Ruby, too. She's working hard back there doing something. Green Goblin, what's up, bro? How you feeling? I don't know you, Green Goblin, but maybe I do. Either way, welcome. Welcome on in. We were just having a very lively discussion and conversation about a concept of another streamer saying some pretty terrible things, actually honest, about the whole gender, people. But, you know, come moving on. Ruby, yes, Ruby is her name. I love Ruby. Yeah, she's very sweet. Anyways, what time is it right now? All right, well, I kind of feel like in retrospect of all the conversation and the drama, and you know, Lita, her phone crashed. The tech that was happening earlier, the producer is clearly trying to rewire something behind the camera. You can't see it, but there's a lot going on. Clearly, apparently, I don't know if something's on fire over there, but did you need to get through here? Yes. All right. Come on. Come on. All right. Sorry, folks, but this is once again, if you didn't know, this is Ruby. Ruby is the newest producer, and she is very rambunctious at this hour, clearly. And she wants to get at the typewriter, but you know, you've already had that. Yes. And I'll need to get rid of the quick keys. So, you know, everybody on YouTube loves a cat. Clearly, I love a cat. What can I say? I loves the animals. They're great. I'd have a menagerie if I haven't had enough space out here. You know, I probably, honestly, my neighbor up the way keeps goats, and if I put a lawn in, I feel like I should get him to just have the goats come mow them, just to have the goats around for a little while. He had, oh my God. By the way, just, let's talk about farm people. Very cool dude. But they treat animals differently. Just say that. He had a big, giant, huge horned goat who apparently got a little aggressive. And then that goat became dinner. Let's just say that. I was always admiring because the goat had huge horns. I just, fuck you up, you know. And then I was talking to him about it. I was like, hey, buddy, so what happened to that big old, had huge horns? He said, oh, he was tasty as hell. I'm like, oh, man. I think it's a beer. Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyways. Anyhow. The point being, the conversation, if it's meant to go somewhere, will have a synthesis via two parties that are looking to reach a synthesis, an antithesis and a thesis, two sides arguing their point with a third party giving an outside. Yeah, goats are actually kind of awesome. They're bad, especially like the little fainting goats and stuff like that. Hilarious. I love barnyard animals. What can I say? I probably would have been a farmer or am a farmer in the other lives going on in some cases. I feel like I like plants a lot. I do well with plants. Speaking of which, my garden is coming along well. I've got four trees. Sorry. Actually five now. The apple tree. I've got a little mini safari apple tree, or what are they, Fuji, but it's like one of these ones that was like raised on an island first, and grafted with another, like an island tree, so like you can pretty much plant it in sand and it'll bring you apples. It never gets very big. I've had one before. It's actually, strangely enough, at my mother's house. In any case, there's a yin and yang to everything. And it's whether or not, yeah, I love trees. I love planting things. I love building things. Anyways, despite the fact that I may grumble, about building things. I love it. I'm not just capable of love. I'm capable of passions. Like every human. Not just like every man or any woman. Not just like every person who has unmelanated skin or somebody with my background, which is many times over mutterized by the, well, very diverse background of my families. Yeah, the passions of my life that allow me to grow every day, to seek enlightenment, to seek unity with others and not supremacy, and the belief that we are all special and normal is special. This ability to find our gifts, to not just engage them, but engage others as if they are made from the same, because they are, because the absolute, if you've been watching my show at all, the absolute is us. We live in a hologram, comes from a white hole and heads towards a black hole, and in the middle there's this reflection, and the reflection is of us and our experiences. We live those experiences in so many ways, and so many times, and so many places over and over and over again, simultaneously, that when one considers what a tiny speck we are in amongst that huge, unthinkably large web of hologram, why, it really seems solipsistic, if anything. We are all related. That's why all the names of God are I am and is, and always shall be. But I guess I go too far at that point, right? I would say anybody who doesn't see that an omni, a meta, a larger than, that allows to create so many tiny little fractured thoughts to create a massive system of observational existence, that it wouldn't imbue the basic fusing of yin and yang, the need for one another, for balance, for interaction, for growth, and to think that one gender or another doesn't need any of the other, until we're splitting ourselves like snails. I'd say that that is not just a fallacy. It's an absurd thought of a deranged mind who wants to sell you a pile of bullshit because their pain, or some pain, is a pain without solution. It's an unhelpful, unhopeful environment of deluded, sad, disenfranchised, wholesale, falderall, chicanery bullshit. Because in all of those things, somebody's selling you a $50 paperback. And I'm making a very specific call out there. Paperbacks are $12.95 to $20. When you're selling it for $50, something's up. Maybe you couldn't get enough printed to get the price down. I understand that happens, but then you should sell it on your merch page. No. Not as if, it's an actual publication. Especially should be made special. Anyways, I don't want to talk merch right now. What I want to talk about is the fact that bullshit is as bullshit does. I can point to science. I can point to how the brain works. I can point to poetry. I can point to art. I can point to actual great emotional romance. I can point to Shakespeare. I can point to every great idea of love to show man involved. A man of some nature or another. And yeah, there's a lot of shitty men, but there's a lot of shitty women. There's a lot of shitty humans. We start breaking it off into genders or what somebody looks like or whatever, you know, over the millennia, Göbekli Tepe and many others taking us back to 12.8 thousand years, if not millions now. Different story, different day. We'll get to that. Wonderful findings, by the way. But the point being is that when you look at the aspect of humanity and the length of time that humanity has been here, and you take it, that aspect being love, you realize that the fundamental driving force isn't just love and spirit for each other and the experience and sentient life, but it is for our species. And if you don't get that, you're not looking up. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you allowing me to rant. I appreciate everyone who came up on the panel. Thank you for the patron. Oh, honestly, that's really awesome. I mean, I think I'm actually almost at the point where I can go get the switcher thing that I was looking at with the effects on it and something of a very nerdy nature. But yes, that's actually really very exciting. I'm excited about that, by the way. Thank you so much. And thank you, Lizard Tree, for being here. Thank you, Green Goblin. Thank you, Lita. Thank you, Resto Chesto. Thank you, Song Wang. Thank you, oh my God, who am I forgetting right now? Oh, Stay Gold Radio, of course. Oh, Jumbi. By the way, Jumbi hiding big accomplishments. World champ. Sorry. Did I shout it too loud? Put your hand on your head. Keep your head low. Look straight at the camera and recognize that the only thing we can do is be aware that when you see someone out there who's about to run into the bar, that's held really low. Dank! Thank you for being here. Thank you for reminding me, Lizard Tree. Appreciate that. Yeah, when that bar gets real low, keep a lookout. And maybe even scream out, look up. You might help someone someday. Thanks for being here. Good night. Be safe or have fun. Whichever comes first.